Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In today's video, I want to share my in-depth review of the SNIF Coco Shimmy fragrance. This is a perfume that was released by SNIF several months ago now. It's been around for a little while. It is a fragrance that a lot of you have asked me if I was going to be reviewing it here on my channel. And also it is, interestingly enough, a fragrance that was highly recommended to me by several of you who already own it and who have said that based on some previous reviews that I've done and some of my preferences that I've shared, that I would probably actually really like this fragrance as well. So I always appreciate a suggestion. So if you have more suggestions for me, send them my way. But the funny thing about SNIF Coco Shimmy is that after it was released and I took a look at the fragrance notes, I actually had kind of written it off in terms of that being a fragrance that I was personally interested in. And it was literally only because of one specific note in the fragrance, and that note was pineapple. I don't know what it is with me and pineapple, both in home fragrance and in personal fragrance, but a lot of times pineapple smells just really artificial to me. Like when it's not the real thing, don't get me wrong, I love to eat pineapple. I love pineapple drinks. Give me a pineapple cocktail any day. I would enjoy that. But when it comes to the smell of pineapple, I don't love the scent. And also on my skin, it tends to turn kind of funky. Every single fragrance that I have tried in terms of perfume that has pineapple in it on my skin, it has just not smelled great at all. It just, certain fragrance notes agree with you, certain fragrance notes do not. And one thing about me is that when I decide to purchase something, either for myself personally or something that I intend to review here on my channel, I'm very careful in terms of deciding whether I think that I'm actually going to like that thing or not. So that means I'm not the type of person that is just going out and blind buying things without like researching those things in depth. Every shopping decision that I make, I really tend to think that through, because I don't like being someone who returns things on a frequent basis. I appreciate the ability here in the United States to almost return virtually anything that doesn't work out for me, but I don't like to abuse that system because honestly, it just results in a ton of waste, and I'm not a big fan of that. So a lot of times when you are returning something and you're returning a product that you just tested out a time or two, they obviously are not going to resell that product. It's going to get damaged out, and it's basically just going to get put into a dumpster, and it's going to go into landfill. So I try to avoid contributing to that if at all possible. And because Coco Shimmy specifically contained that pineapple fragrance note, I just thought, I'm not going to risk it. However, last week I met up with my friend Amber for lunch, and we actually exchanged some fragrances. So I gave her some of my perfumes that, you know, I was kind of over, if you will. And then she brought, Amber was really nice. She actually brought me some samples of some things that I was curious about. And one of the fragrances that she brought for me in this lovely little atomizer, she actually purchased this off of Amazon to be able to bring me this samples, but she filled this cute little atomizer here with the SNIF Coco Shimmy. Amber just really wanted me to try it, even though I think she kind of figured that it wasn't going to be my jam. Probably because I told her it probably wasn't going to be my jam, but she was like, you just have to try it, okay? You have to try it. So anyway, this is courtesy of Amber. I'm really glad that I didn't have to go and purchase this, although I could have just purchased a little sample size and then very easily, you know, pass that along. SNIF does offer much smaller sizes of their fragrances. They are available mostly on the SNIF website, but I do think that maybe Ulta has a sample pack that has a few of the smaller fragrances from SNIF where you can test them out. But anyway, moral of the story is this is courtesy of Amber, and I'm gonna review this fragrance for you. And I'm just gonna let you know right now, I don't like it. I don't. As much as I love a beachy, coconutty, fresh, summery scent, this is just not for me, specifically because of that pineapple. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna read you the description here. We're gonna read through the fragrance notes. I'll tell you what my nose mostly lands on here, which is just a lot of the pineapple, but I do pick up some of these other notes as well. I just think that the blend here it's not for my personal body chemistry, but that doesn't mean that it's not gonna be for your body chemistry. I think sometimes perfume is just something that you're gonna have to try out. So, all right, so they say here, dive headfirst into Coco Shimmy, where the good times smell like a coconut spritz with a sun-kissed twist. In the golden age of poolside chic, you can get lost in leisure and sway to the spray of creamy coconut, pineapple, sandalwood, tonka bean, sunscreen, and surf wax. So the fragrance notes here again are coconut, pineapple, sunscreen, surf wax, sandalwood, and tonka bean. Now, when I met up with Amber for lunch last week, she was telling me that this kind of reminds her of the Vacation eau de toilette. Vacation as in the sunscreen company. They do have their own kind of signature scent for their sunscreen products, and the fragrance is called Vacation. Now, I love Vacation. That is just the epitome of like a 1980s like day by the pool. You smell the chlorine, you smell the lycra from the swimsuits, you smell the creamy coconut. There's a little like banana kind of wafting in the background. You've got that like almost salty ocean air mixed in with that pool chlorine. It's just an incredibly sophisticated, beautiful sunscreen scent. And to Amber, this is very similar. And I would agree that for the majority of the fragrance, they do share a lot of similarities. The coconut is absolutely delicious. You also get those sunscreen vibes. The sandalwood in here is incredibly creamy again. The tonka bean adds just a little bit of depth. The coconut even is a really beautiful, creamy, delicious coconut. But you know what, guys? Where it goes wrong for me here is it's the pineapple. This is a very tangy pineapple, and it's at the very top of the fragrance. For me, I think if the pineapple was more of a hint, a suggestion, if you will, I think I could maybe enjoy this one at least. But with the pineapple basically being at the top with that creamy coconut, it's just too much. It just immediately goes down that like a tangy, acidic, just really aggressive fake pineapple. I don't love it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and spray it on my skin, knowing that I'm not gonna love the way that this smells, but anyway, did you see how this has a really nice atomizer? I should ask Amber, God, that is potent. It just, that pineapple just smacks me in the face, you guys. I should ask Amber where she got these on Amazon, because that's a really nice atomizer. Okay, yeah, it's so aggressive. So right off the bat, this has quite a bit of projection to it. Even though these SNIF fragrances are only eau de toilettes, and I've said this about every single SNIF fragrance that I've reviewed, they behave like an eau de parfum on my skin, especially if my skin is moisturized properly prior to application. I think the lasting power of the SNIF fragrances is incredible for them being an eau de toilette. So if that scares you off initially, I would say give them a try. I really think the lasting power is there, but they are an eau de toilette formulation, just so you guys are aware. So yeah, for me, I gotta say, it's quite potent. It's got good projection. The lasting power of the SNIF fragrances on my skin is usually somewhere around 5-6 hours, which is right around where I will typically reapply my eau de parfums as well. So listen, these are potent. The wear time, I think, is pretty significant for the type of formulation that this is. And while I have loved almost every single other SNIF fragrance that I've tried in the past, this Coco Shimmy is just not for me. And it is solely because of that pineapple note. For me, when I am wanting like that really beachy, sunscreeny type of fragrance, it's gonna be Vacation. I already actually finished my first bottle of Vacation. I intend on repurchasing it for this summer. I will say the Vacation does not last as long on my skin as the SNIF fragrances do, but also the Vacation is an eau de toilette formulation. But that being said, I still much prefer the Vacation formulation, just because it's just not heavy on that pineapple. And for me, that particular note will just, it'll ruin a candle. It'll ruin a personal fragrance situation very quickly if the pineapple is at all the star of the show. So for me, this one is a no-go, but listen, if you love a pineapple, you're gonna wanna try this one. I think you'll really enjoy it. It is not the latest and greatest from SNIF. They have definitely been releasing some fragrance since Coco Shimmy has come out. But yeah, this is one where I think it was one of the first times that SNIF came out with a scent that I was immediately like, I'm gonna pass on that. So again, thank you, Amber, for giving me a little bottle of it so I could at least review it here on my channel and finally officially say that I'm just not a Coco Shimmy girl. So anyway, I hope that this review is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have some suggestions for some other creamy, beachy, coconutty type fragrances that might rock my world for this coming summer season. I love me a coconut in the summertime, so let me know what your suggestions are in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new, give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.